To be honest, a lot of people don't talk about this, but there's a very thin line between overflow and overwhelmed. And today I brought this up in my men's group that I'm starting to feel a little overwhelmed with everything that I got going on. And one of my friends, Caleb, he shared this verse with me. And it's not something that I haven't read before, but God is so good. It's always in the details. And it is in Matthew 11, chapter 28 through 30. And it says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle, lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." I don't know about y'all, but this is just so perfect for me in the season that I'm in, because it's so easy to turn your blessings into burdens by just being greedy for more, just by wanting to acquire so much more. And we don't get to appreciate where we are now. Like, I think sometimes we get so enamored with gaining that we just start getting infatuated with the pursuit of just more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And for me right now, I realized that I'm kind of in this space of, and I was sharing this with them as well, I'm kind of in this space of reaping the things that I sowed last year. Not necessarily needing more, but because I was willing to sow in the places that I sowed, I'm now reaping the benefits of it. But because I was so used to the sowing season that I even forgot. I forgot that there was a harvest season to even have. And now I'm in it. And it kind of makes me reminisce sowing again. And the reason why I say that is it's kind of like that J. Cole song with like Love Yours. And he was saying, like, basically he was saying, congratulations because you made it the wrong way. The only bad news is, man, you went the wrong way. Like, he said, congratulations because you made it through a long way, but only bad news is, man, you went the wrong way. And I'm realizing that there was so much beauty in the struggle. And it's not even to say, and I'm not even saying that I'm on such a high level, or it's not even to say that that doesn't mean anything. What I'm really just trying to get to is, I'm finding myself becoming overwhelmed simply because I'm trying to be in too many places at once, simply because I have too many opportunities to say yes to, and I've been saying yes to too many. These aren't even necessarily bad things. But when you give yourself this full plate, you need a full cup. You need someone pouring into you just as much as you're pouring into others. And without that, you begin to experience overwhelmment. You begin to experience being overwhelmed simply because you're trying to do too much. There's so much power in your no. And it's one of the great things. One of the things I said was just simply that there's so much power in your no. And when you understand the power in your no, you're able to then give yourself the space to nurture the seeds that God told you to sow. And it's asking yourself the question, do I have the space to nurture? Or am I just so busy trying to sow as many seeds as possible so I can have a great harvest? Because the problem with having the harvest and your heart posture not be right is that you get greedy for more. And I'm in that season. I can be real enough to say this. Have enough self-evaluation to admit your own shortcomings and wrongdoings. That I'm getting a little too greedy of being needed. I'm being a little too greedy of being the guy that people can go to. Almost just being greedy to want to help others. I don't know, that sounds really weird, right? Because it's like, these are all good things. Like, it's good to be needed. It's good to want to help others. It's good to be blessed. What are you saying? I'm saying if your heart posture isn't in the right place, then it doesn't matter if you're trying to do good things when you have bad intentions. And how do you apply this to yourself? I'm saying, don't turn your blessings into burdens. Don't get to the point where in the moments where you're saying that I get to do this, and allow them to turn into the moments where you say I have to. Don't get to the point where you forget this is what you prayed for. Don't get to the point where you step outside of your lane, when you step outside of the path that it was already paved for you. Don't get caught in comparison, because comparison is the root. I mean, if we're being real, like the root of comparison is, if I can even go deeper, like I want to go deeper, but I have to keep it a little superficial because we're not there yet. Some of us aren't there yet. I think majority of us aren't ready for that conversation yet. So I'll just say this, like the other side of comparison is just confusion. And you lose a little bit more and more of self the more you compare yourself to others, which can cause all the blessing that you're in right now to look like burdens, to look like I don't have this and I don't have that, and I can't make this and I can't make that, and who am I to do this, and if I don't have this, and this person's doing this, and look what everything that she has or he has, and you forget who you are. You forget how blessed you are. You forget how much favor is over your life. You forget that the blessing is having the idea in the first place. The blessing is to be able to execute it in your own unique way. The blessing is that you serve the one who gave you the idea in the first place. The blessing is that we have the ability to serve a blesser. Like, don't lose sight of it. Like, keep the main thing the main thing. If I can say anything else, keep the main thing the main thing. And don't get caught up in the distractions. Like, I've been forcing myself in places and spaces and trying to create opportunities that were never even meant for me. I've been trying to put my hand inside a cookie jar that God never told me to open. Like, no wonder why I can't find any benefit in it. No wonder why I'm trying to grab too much, and yes, my hand, like I'm still sticking with it, cookie jar metaphor, in case you got lost. No wonder why I can't take my hand out. I have too much in it. I have to be willing to let some things go so that I can take my hand out of the jar. It's a simple principle, but I think we get caught up many times. Shoot, if not anybody else, just learn from my life to enjoy the overflow. Enjoy the overflow. Because the overflow feels like a waterfall. It feels just like abundance. But when you get into that overwhelmment, when it starts to feel like you're being overwhelmed with it, it's no longer this waterfall, but more like rough seas crashing upon you. Like you're stuck in the middle of the sea and it's just these tsunami waves crashing on you. And a lot of times I find myself there, though, in those places when I'm no longer on the path that God put me on. When I am realizing, and here's why I read this verse in the first place, and this is why it's so amazing that God used Caleb to mention this verse for me. Would I forget that I'm supposed to go to God? Like, seek his kingdom first. Like, go to him first before all else. Before everything else, go to him. Not even that, because it says, come to me. Come to me, go to him. Then not even that, he says, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. If you tired, go to God. If you know you working hard and you're like, God, why is it? Go to him. Like, I think a lot of times when things aren't working the way we think, even if we're putting in the hard work, we try to go to something else. We try to go to another resource instead of just going to the source. Because the problem is you're not seeking rest, you're seeking a solution. You're not seeking rest, you're seeking resolve. But God is saying that he provides both. Then it says, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. You ever get to the point where it just feel like your soul is tired? Like, you get to that point, that's where I am right now. Like, between creating this and this is gonna sound like a burden the way I'm about to put it, and this is where I'm at. And this is, if not anything else for y'all, this is just something that I can reflect on later. But I'm creating this, and then I'm studying for other things. Then I'm creating for this clothing brand right now, and creating content to grow the brand and to grow my following, then helping all of my clients try to do the same for their own businesses and brands, and then leading my Bible study, then still showing up for my brother's group. Then trying to still make it to a Bible study where I'm not the leader of. It's a lot. But here's where the rejoice can come in. For anybody else who may just feel like they got a lot going on and they're tired. It says, take my yoke upon you. And if you don't understand what the yoke even is, right? The yoke is what they put on bulls. And they would pull the bulls, and the bulls would pull the thing behind them, and it would basically till the land. It would get rid of all the rubbish and all it would basically allow it, take everything off the land, basically to strip the land, so that it would now be suitable land to sow seeds in. So he's saying, take my yoke, because I'm going to use this to guide you. Okay. Then it says, for I am gentle, so it's not going to be like he's yanking you. But he's gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Now this is the one. Verse 30 says, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. His yoke is easy. He's easy to follow. And it's just going to be like him directing you, him just giving you guidance to go this way. It's not even like a strong pull, but it's more like somebody just saying, hey, go this way. And it says, my burden is light. The things that he asks for you to do, it's light. But we put other things on us that become burdens. We place too much weight on our shoulders that our shoulders were never meant to bear. Your shoulders were never meant to carry that weight. And I'm not just speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself when I say this. And even more when I say this. Take it off. Take off the weight. Let go of the burden. Just receive his. Just receive his. Because when I'm doing what God told me to do, when I'm doing what I've been called to do, There's no burden. It's just blessing. It's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to speak to you when I'm just doing what God called me to do. This becomes a burden when I'm doing and I'm overstretching myself, overreaching. And there's no more for me to give. Give yourself rest in this too. Like, give yourself the space to really nurture the seeds that God told you to sow. It's so easy to get caught up in this world. It's so easy to get caught up in greed. And it's not even financial greed that I'm searching for, but the greed of almost just wanting to be used, to be useful. I can't help everybody. Neither can you. If anything, I can't even save anybody. All I can do is sow seed. So surrender that too. If that's where you're stuck too. Surrender it, the fact that you can't help and you can't save everybody or anyone for that matter. But you can help. But do what God has called you to do. If nothing else, for just right now, just do what he's called you to do. Because some of you haven't even started. And you're just experiencing weariness and tiredness of just getting in your own way. Of just you being resistant from the calling. And it's weighing on you. And some of you, you're where I am, you're just doing too much. Like, God didn't even tell you to go do that. You trying to help that lady. God didn't even say go over there. You're doing too much. Be still and know that he is the God. Like, be still and know that he is God. Just go to the places he called you to go. That's really what I'm saying. I appreciate you if you made it to the end of this video. As I'm experiencing this, like I said before, from the very beginning, even there's things that I feel like I quote unquote have I'm more conscientious of it, right? Like I'm more present in it to be able to realize it. Like I understand that I have to give myself the affirmation to do what I'm called to do. I got a better grasp on that. But it's things like this where I'm in the season of it right now and I don't necessarily know quite the best response or the best answer, but I can just go to the word, and that's the amazing point. That's the amazing part about it, right? Like I don't have to know everything. I can go to the one who does. I can go to the truth and then apply the truth to my life. And as I'm experiencing it, I want to share it with you. So hopefully this was beneficial to you. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, it's okay, because I did. And if you didn't enjoy the one today, well, it's okay, because I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.